You are on an airplane and it's about to take off. A voice on the loudspeaker asks everyone to activate airplane mode on their devices. But what really happens when you press that button with the airplane icon on your cell phone? The answer goes far beyond what most people imagine. We will explain exactly what happens when you activate airplane mode on your smartphone. We will reveal the technological secrets behind this function that everyone uses but few really understand. And believe it, there is much more to this story than just avoiding interference with the aircraft's navigation system. Airplane mode was created for a specific purpose, but nowadays it has several uses that many people don't know about. From saving battery to protecting you from hackers, this small button on your cell phone is more powerful than it seems. When you activate airplane mode on your device, a series of processes happens instantly. The device turns off all wireless communications, including cellular networks, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. It's as if your smartphone enters complete digital isolation, cutting all connections with the outside world. In modern devices, this function deactivates the internal radio modem responsible for sending and receiving radio frequency signals. But why is this necessary on an airplane? The traditional explanation is that radio frequency signals emitted by cell phones can interfere with aircraft navigation and communication systems. These systems are extremely sensitive and operate on frequencies similar to those used by mobile phones. Cell tower transmitters send high-power signals to reach great distances. When your phone searches for these towers, it also emits powerful signals. At 33,000 feet high, these signals can spread for hundreds of miles in all directions, potentially causing interference in multiple ground systems. However, few people know that modern airplanes are very well protected against electromagnetic interference. Critical navigation and communication systems are carefully isolated and shielded. So what is the real reason for airplane mode to still exist? The main problem is not on the airplane, but in the cellular telephone system on the ground. When you are flying at hundreds of miles per hour at high altitude, your phone can detect dozens of cell towers simultaneously. This can cause confusion in ground networks, which are not prepared to handle devices moving so quickly between different coverage cells. The system was designed to work with devices moving at normal speeds on the ground, not at 500 miles per hour, thousands of feet high. Now let's explore the technical operation of airplane mode in more detail. When activated, it disables four main components in your device. Number 1, the cellular modem. This is the part of your phone that communicates with cell towers to make calls, send messages, and access mobile data. It operates on various frequencies, depending on the technology used, such as 4G or 5G. Number 2, the Wi-Fi chip. This component allows your device to connect to local wireless networks and operates mainly on 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz frequencies. Number 3, the Bluetooth chip. Responsible for communication with nearby devices such as headphones and speakers, it works on the 2.4 GHz frequency with much less power than Wi-Fi. Number 4, the GPS receiver. This component only receives signals from satellites. It doesn't transmit, but it is still deactivated in airplane mode to save energy. Interestingly, in modern smartphones, you can manually reactivate Wi-Fi and Bluetooth even with airplane mode on. This happens because these technologies use low-power, short-range signals, representing minimal risk of interference. Airlines even offer Wi-Fi on board on many flights, which would be contradictory if these frequencies were really dangerous for the aircraft. An interesting aspect about airplane mode is that it has evolved far beyond its original function. Today, many people use this feature even when they are not traveling by plane. Let's discover some surprising uses of this resource. First, airplane mode is an excellent way to save battery. When your phone is constantly looking for signals from cellular networks, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, it consumes a significant amount of energy. By deactivating all these connections at once, you can extend your device's battery life by up to 30%. This is particularly useful when you have low battery and need to conserve energy for emergencies. Additionally, airplane mode can be an effective tool for charging your phone faster. Since the device is not constantly processing signals and data in the background, all the power from the power source is directed to charging the battery. Tests show that a smartphone in airplane mode can charge up to 25% faster compared to normal mode. Airplane mode also offers benefits for your privacy and digital security. When all wireless communications are deactivated, your device is completely isolated from possible external attacks. Hackers cannot remotely access your phone, malicious apps cannot send data to external servers, and trackers cannot monitor your location. For people concerned with digital security, activating airplane mode during confidential meetings or in certain locations has become a common practice. Another popular use of airplane mode is as a productivity and digital wellness tool. By eliminating constant distractions from notifications, messages, and calls, you can better focus on important tasks or simply enjoy a moment of tranquility. Many people activate airplane mode during study sessions, important meetings, or before sleeping to improve sleep quality. Surprisingly, airplane mode can also solve technical problems on your device. When your phone is having connectivity issues, turning airplane mode on and off forces the device to re-establish all connections, often resolving temporary failures. It's like restarting just the communication system of the device without having to turn it off completely. A curious aspect of airplane mode is that it varies slightly between different operating systems and manufacturers. On iPhone and iOS devices, airplane mode is represented by an orange airplane icon and deactivates all wireless communications instantly. On Android, the icon is generally white or blue, depending on the manufacturer, and the behavior can vary subtly between different brands. On Samsung devices, for example, airplane mode remembers your preferences. If you activate airplane mode and then manually turn on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, the phone will remember this setting the next time you use airplane mode. On iPhones, airplane mode always starts by deactivating all connections, regardless of previous settings. Another little-known detail is that requirements for using electronic devices on aircraft vary considerably between different countries and airlines. In the United States, the Federal Aviation Administration relaxed its rules in 2013, allowing the use of electronic devices during all phases of flight, as long as they are in airplane mode. The European Union followed with similar regulations in 2014. However, many airlines maintain their own restrictions, especially during takeoff and landing, which are considered critical phases of the flight. Some allow the use of larger devices, such as laptops, only when the plane reaches cruising altitude, while smaller devices, such as smartphones, can be used throughout the flight in airplane mode. But what happens if you don't activate airplane mode during a flight? This is a question many passengers ask themselves, usually while deciding whether or not to follow the cruise instructions. The reality is that the technical consequences are minimal in modern airplanes. As we mentioned earlier, critical aircraft systems are extremely well protected against external interference. The probability of a single cell phone causing problems in navigation or communication systems is practically zero. However, imagine hundreds of phones on a full aircraft, all trying to connect simultaneously to cell towers on the ground. The cumulative effect could theoretically cause problems, especially in older equipment. The biggest problem, however, is not technical but regulatory. Not following crew instructions, including activating airplane mode when requested, can be considered a violation of the airline's safety rules and, in extreme cases, result in penalties. In the United States, the FAA can impose significant fines on passengers who do not comply with safety instructions. There is an ongoing debate in the aviation industry about the real need for airplane mode. Many experts argue that current restrictions are excessively cautious and based on old technologies. The proof of this is that many airlines now offer Wi-Fi services and even cellular connectivity during flight, using special equipment installed on the aircraft itself. These onboard communication systems function as a small cell tower inside the airplane, connected to satellites or ground antennas via dedicated links. This allows passengers to use their devices to access the internet without interfering with ground or aircraft systems. The signal is managed and controlled, eliminating the problem of multiple devices trying to connect to distant towers simultaneously. As these technologies become more common, it is possible that the traditional airplane mode will become obsolete in the coming years. Instead, devices might automatically connect to aircraft communication systems when on board, without having to completely deactivate their communication functions. Looking to the future, how is this technology expected to evolve? The trend is for devices to become smarter about when and how to deactivate their communications. Instead of a simple all-on or all-off switch, we can expect more granular modes that automatically adjust communications based on context and location. For example, future smartphones could automatically detect when they are on an airplane through changes in atmospheric pressure or movement and adjust their communication settings without user intervention, or they could synchronize with the aircraft system to determine when certain communications are allowed or restricted. Some manufacturers are already experimenting with smart airplane mode features that automatically deactivate only cellular networks when they detect that the device is moving at high speed at high altitudes, keeping other functions like Wi-Fi available for onboard connectivity. Now that we know the technical and practical details of airplane mode, we can appreciate how this simple feature on our devices represents a fascinating meeting point between safety regulations, technological limitations, and practical considerations. The next time you are on a plane and hear the announcement to activate airplane mode, you will know exactly what is happening inside your device and why. You can also use this knowledge to use airplane mode in creative ways in your daily life, whether to save battery, improve your productivity, or increase your digital security. Airplane mode is a perfect example of how a simple technical solution created for a specific problem can evolve to have multiple uses not initially foreseen. It is also a reminder of how the technology we use daily has fascinating stories behind its most basic functions. If you like this video and learned something new about this function that we use frequently, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel for more content about technology and engineering, explained in a clear and accessible way. Activate the bell to be notified whenever we publish new videos. And in the comments, tell us, do you use airplane mode for purposes other than air travel? We are curious to know. Until the next video.